Joining me here in the studio, Sandra Loang-Waters and Michael Sharman of Golden Voice Entertainment. Welcome.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning. And nice to see the musical theater types up bright and early. You know, it's always a bit of a shock to the system, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's very early for us on Saturday morning, but it's lovely to be here.
I would have thought. So we're here to talk about not George Gershwin, but Stephen Sondheim, and something that you've put together, quite literally. What's the name of the show?
The show is Putting It Together.
Very nice. And can you tell me about the story and what's involved in putting this show together?
Well, this show came about basically because audiences were demanding a new Sondheim review, and Stephen Sondheim had produced Side by Side, but he really wanted to do something with a bit more of a story. So this show he worked with Julie Mackenzie, and they came up with the idea of two couples, so an older couple who invite a younger couple to spend the weekend with them. And through the weekend we hear that things perhaps in the relationships, especially the older couple, they're questioning their relationship and sort of, I guess, looking for how they can stay together and whether they want to stay together. And then there's a narrator who kind of links the whole story and at times actually plays with the two couples and mixes the pot a little bit, and then at other times brings them together. So it's a really lovely show because it uses all of Sondheim's best music or best shows, and the couples, the songs themselves, I think anyone who comes to see it will be able to see themselves or be able to empathize with one of the characters in the show.
And I think the great thing about the show too is obviously he set it in New York, especially with when it was on in Broadway in 1999. But of course, this story could be in Hong Kong. I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to, you know, the younger couple, and especially the woman and her drive for wanting more in her life, whether that be love or whether that be you know, riches as in diamonds or jewelry or arts as the older couple has.
So the relevance to the story, of course, it was done back in the day, but it's absolutely current, you would say.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
And as a review show, did Stephen Sondheim pick and choose music that he had already composed and slotted it in, or did he kind of freshly put this together?
Well, this particular show that we're presenting in Hong Kong is actually the Broadway revival.
Right.
So the original show was slightly different, and I think I would honestly say that we're doing the improved version of it, where he went back and he really looked at the songs and which shows he wanted to honour. Of course, there's all his best works. So there's Sweeney Todd, there's Into the Woods, Company, but the songs are very fitting to the moments in the show. So, of course, you have this wonderful moment near the end where all of them are searching for something to keep them wanting to live, something to keep them passionate about life, where they all sing the song Being Alive.
And you have a recording that we're going to be listening to in just a moment. What is on that CD that we're going to hear next?
Well, I think that there's probably no other singer who has performed Stephen Sondheim's works as frequently, and I would almost say it's Bernadette Peters is like Stephen Sondheim's muse. Probably the same as Mary Martin was Rodgers and Hammerstein's muse, and he loves her, and she has consistently paid tribute to him in her concerts and also by performing in his shows. So this is her performing Being Alive live.
Excellent. Let's listen to that next, and we'll come back with all the details of where and when and who's doing this show and all that just after the music. Well, the live audience there certainly enjoyed Bernadette Peters singing the music of Stephen Sondheim. I'm here chatting with Michael Sharman and Sandra Loang-Waters of Golden Voice Entertainment, and we've been chatting about the Putting It Together show that you've been putting together. And I'd like to talk a bit more about the details of the actual show in terms of the nuts and bolts of it. Well, first of all, who's in it? In addition to yourselves, I guess.
We have Jacqueline Goulet-Grant, and she plays the wife in the show. She is an amazing performer. She studied at the Royal Academy in London, and she's done Così fan tutti and lots of other classical works, and but she's discovered a whole other range, and doing this show has been such a I guess a new discovery for her, I would say, and she's loving doing it. Olivia de Molina, who did Phantom in Europe and Kiss Me Kate and lots of other musicals, and is very well known in the local scene as well. Arvin Robles, who used to do a movie review show on Star World and was in the film Dragon Blade. And then, of course, Sandra Longwaters is the young girl.
That made my husband laugh. That I was playing the young woman.
And I'm playing the narrator, so I'm the one who kind of links it all.
And Michael and I are actually both from Australia, as you know, and we never met each other until a year ago here in Hong Kong. But we'd both been, you know, on Neighbours and different movies and TV shows that we'd grown up with, but our paths had actually never crossed until we moved to a different city. Yeah.
Oh, that is quite remarkable, actually.
Yes,
I didn't know that little bit tidbit there. The musical is on from Tuesday the 22nd, and it's going to run right through till the weekend, till Saturday evening. Where are the concerts?
The Fringe Club in Central, so it's very central, which is great.
Yes.
And easy for people to get to.
That's the Fringe Theatre, is it?
That's right.
So it is exceptionally intimate venue, but allows people to get very the real sense of what's happening, not 400 meters away at the back of the auditorium, and then you look at the big screen and sort of pretend as if you were there. This is a very much real theatre in that sense.
Which I love, especially for this review, because you can be right there holding your drink in the living room with these characters and experience what they're going through.
Oh, fantastic. So that's, they're all evening performances, no matinees?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So it's Tuesday through Saturday at the Fringe Club. If people want to find out more about your group in particular, is there a website they can go to?
Absolutely.
We're at goldenvoiceasia.com, and tickets are all available from Hong Kong Ticketing.
Hong Kong Ticketing, the number 31288-288, 31288-288. That's Hong Kong Ticketing. I'd like to talk to you a bit more about the Golden Voice Entertainment, not only this Stephen Sondheim putting it together, which sounds fantastic, and I do wish you all the best with that. But generally, you've put this company together to put music theater on here in Hong Kong, which I think is fantastic. How has it been going, and what do you see going forward?
Well, we've had a wonderful year last year. We produced 10 different shows, and I think what's exciting for this show, putting it together, is that we get to show the public now and actually enjoy the moment for a week and enjoy Sondheim's music. I mean, as you know, so many events are corporate or private events, and so not everybody gets the opportunity to see, you know, what you personally would like to share with audiences. So we had 10 shows last week. We were lucky and worked at some of Asia's most luxurious destinations in terms of restaurants and theatres and live entertainment venues and malls and with different artists. So next week is really our chance to give back and just show everyone how proud we are of the team. We have some wonderful corporate partners, and just to name a few, we've worked with wonderful teams, Tom Lee. So next week we've got a wonderful team that's working with us in the show, and I'm sure you know a lot of the guys at Tom Lee Engineering, the Speedy Group and the PR agency, Erica from the Grand Hyatt, the two Aussie blokes at GOD. It's always nice to work with some fellow Aussies there, yeah.
Great. And the other, Golden Voice is very proud of our new group, Take Note, as well, which has been performing frequently now at Pacific Place. We had a wonderful season leading up to Christmas doing carols, and certainly people will be hearing a lot more about Take Note, which is an a cappella group.
Okay, so it's how large of an ensemble is that?
Well, it's actually quite a large ensemble, but different performers usually for each show. But the cast in total, there's probably a group of about 25.
Oh my goodness, that's
performers.
That's huge.
Yes, but you don't get to see all of them all the time.
Right.
But no, it's they've in their own right. Take Note has now also been very successful performing into Greater Asia as well.
Certainly, congratulations with that. The very fantastic sounding group. The intimacy of this musical, I think, is very well suited to the Fringe Theatre venue. That the putting it together, Stephen Sondheim thing that you're doing is with the five. Only a cast of 5. I think that's quite unusual for a musical, isn't it? Because
yes.
Quite often it's the Wizard of Oz with munchkins and witches and everything. It's a cast of 40 plus massive orchestra. This is a different thing altogether. It's much more intimate. It's kind of a personal. I'm not even sure if musical is the right term.
I agree with you totally, because I think that Stephen Sondheim's music is very sophisticated and it's very intellectual in many ways. The music is, as well as the lyrics. And so I think for people who might kind of look at musical theatre as kind of all song and dance and kind of razzle-dazzle, I think that Stephen Sondheim gives you something else. And really, it's as much an acting piece as it is a singing piece. We could be speaking all these lines, and there could be no music, and it would probably stand on in its own right as a theatrical piece, as much as the music does, because the words are so powerful. Incredible songs and stories about heartbreak and friendship and love. It really is. It's wonderful, the journey that it takes you on.
Well put. Well, with that introduction, let's hear a bit more music. What are we going to hear next?
This is the song Back in Business, which actually Stephen Sondheim wrote for the movie Dick Tracy, starring Warren Beatty and Madonna. And this song is performed by the original cast, which featured Julie Andrews and, interestingly, Christopher Durang. Anyone who went to see Sister Mary will be familiar with his work. But he's an incredible playwright, but also he's proven through this. I discovered him as a performer through this and was amazed at how talented he is.
Brilliant. Let's have a listen. Just there, the music of Stephen Sondheim, the original cast recording of Putting It Together. You can hear that music live here in Hong Kong. The entire show is being put on by Golden Voice Entertainment. Many thanks to Sandra Lingwaters and Michael Sharman for coming in and chatting to me about that. It's on at the Fringe Theatre from the 22nd to the 26th of February. That's a Tuesday through Saturday. Tickets available. They're available now. 31288-288. Don't wait.